Yeah, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our very first episode of Bulls, Bears, and Breakfast, which is going to be a new format here for the PrimeXBT Trading Academy every Tuesday from 8 a.m. UTC. That's for me 10 a.m. CET. I will now prepare you a little bit for the week ahead of trading. Why on Tuesdays? Because Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays usually the volatility is a bit higher on the market. So I figured, these are the main trading days. So these are the days we should be active. On the show, I want to tell you what is ahead on the markets right now. What am I going to look at? What are hot news actually out there that probably are going to influence the markets? And I can tell you one thing. There's something very hot going on, very important. Most of you probably have heard it already. And that's also something I want to start with today because it's the obvious elephant in the room. You guys might have read this already. I also talked about or posted about this yesterday on our Telegram Academy Telegram group. PayPal launches a dollar-backed stablecoin boosting shares. Well, the second part, boosting shares, we're going to have a quick look later at. If you're into stock trading, maybe this is for you. But the news itself is, and I'm just going to read here the first two paragraphs here. Payments giant PayPal said on Monday it has already launched. So that's the point here. A US dollar stablecoin becoming the first major financial technology firm, so fintech, to embrace digital currencies for payments and transfers. PayPal announcement, which lifted its shares by 2.66% on Monday, reflects a show of confidence in the troubled cryptocurrency industry that has over the last 12 months grappled with regulatory headwinds that were exacerbated by a string of high-profile collapses. And yeah, for me, this kind of came as a surprise, I must say. I didn't really expect this. And as we can see here, PayPal shares actually on Monday, so that was yesterday's trading session, after this large gap down here from the earning reports, managed to go up again. So maybe we're going up here again into this area of 72.5 US dollars to close the gap, very much like what we did here before a couple of months ago. So this is exciting, of course, for us being primarily focused on cryptocurrencies, at least when it comes to trading. These are very exciting news. And I'm kind of surprised actually that it didn't affect the cryptocurrency markets yesterday a lot more, because we're talking here about PayPal having about 460 million customers. I don't know how it is in your home country, but for example, here in Germany, a lot of people are using PayPal on a daily basis. Like if you want to transfer a little bit money to your friends, I don't know, you go out, you want to split the bill, you settle by PayPal very quickly. Also, if you go shopping, very often you use PayPal because they offer kind of a security. So if your goods do not arrive, you can get your money back. So a lot of people that also might not be so much into cryptocurrencies yet are using PayPal. And of course, this is exciting also on another level because it gives a bit of a competition to US dollar TIFA. And as I said just now, I kind of expected yesterday to see a bit more of a reaction. Sure, we had here, a little bit of a, if you are into candlestick, you might want to call this, maybe it's a hammer or doji, I'm not sure here, not so much into candlestick patterns here last Monday. So we had a positive reaction from Bitcoin. We, of course, had a more neutral reaction here from Ethereum versus US dollar. However, not much in general. I mean, the markets are very boring. What we see here, we can really see, say for months already, are always, this market that doesn't want to move in either direction, especially since we dove into this, what I called on Telegram, this major zone of support here. Doesn't really want to go down to 28,500 US dollars. Later, I want to enter some orders, by the way, as well, limit orders. But every time we tick up, and you can see this very well with those wicks here, and with my screen big. I have my screen big right now. Very good. You can see this with those wicks to the upside always here, same to the downside. This is a telltale sign of a market that doesn't know what to do. Now, if you've been with me here on YouTube or Telegram for a little bit longer period of time, you might remember that I sometimes like to trade something which I call a Bollinger squeeze pattern. And I want to show you here, I'm going to apply just plain and simple Bollinger Bands to the chart now. And if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that every time Bitcoin has this contraction period, so periods of low volatility, because this is what you can use a Bollinger Band very well for example, to give you an understanding of how's the volatility situation of a market. Volatility meaning on average over a span, for example, of the last 20 days, how much did the asset, in this case Bitcoin, swing to the upside or downside? And you can see every time we have those contractions here, so very prominent here, December until January 2023. Sooner or later, before that we had this too, you can see this here, you will have a very violent volatility breakout. Beginning of January, mid of January, we had this breakout to the upside. Before that, we had this last breakout to the downside. Then it stayed a little bit volatile, and you can see also here, again, a low volatility setting. We broke out to the upside, tried to capture the 31,000. It didn't quite happen yet. And now we are kind of in the same situation. Actually, this situation is a bit more extreme than what we are used to. Again, we see the Bollinger Bands here, the upper green band, the lower red band squeezing a lot. So sooner or later, we're going to have this breakout situation again, either to the upside or to the downside. Now, to the downside, I think we're a little bit limited because here at 27,000, currently already we have the 200 days moving average. That's the red one here. And to the upside, of course, there's this great barrier at 31,000, which we failed over and over again to rise over, to close over, and get the tailwinds to maybe 34 or 35,000 US dollars. However, very interesting. So be prepared that sooner or later, doesn't need to be today, doesn't need to be this week, but probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks, we are going to have this massive breakout. And this massive breakout usually is triggered by some sort of news event. Now, I thought with PayPal going into cryptocurrencies, offering, by the way, just for US clients at the moment, their own stablecoin, that this might be something that is going to push us over 31,000 US dollars. However, the markets didn't really react to it. And this also is a telltale sign. This is called for, really a bear market for this, this area of despair or disbelief, where market participants still think things are not going to get better. Bitcoin is slowly going to fade away. We're going to hit 20 again. We're going to hit 15, 10,000 or maybe lower again. And then suddenly you have like positive news like this, which usually leads to a breakout to the north. We've seen this over and over again. Last time here, mid of June, when we broke out from 25 to 31,000 US dollars. I thought this could have been the catalyst. However, the market pretty much ignored this. Nonetheless, I mean, we have one of the giant fintech companies out there really entering the cryptocurrency scene here. In my opinion, it's just a matter of time until more are following. I've been waiting for something like this to happen for quite a while now. Interestingly enough, of course, on Twitter, we see a lot of stuff also about this. By the way, a word of warning, guys, here, on Twitter, on social media in general, you see a lot of these posts here, guide on how I claimed a Pi USD, so a PayPal USD airdrop. There is no airdrop, guys. Those are scam posts. Do not reply to posts like this. PayPal is not giving away free money. They want your Ethereum address. They're going to sell you a fake PayPal Ethereum token, because PayPal, the Pi US dollar as it's called, is based on the Ethereum blockchain. So don't fall for something like this. if it's free, or if you just need to share your address and then supposedly you're going to get an airdrop, or they want to sell you some money, some fake tokens in this way, please do not fall for this. It's only done by PayPal itself. There is no airdrop, by the way. So please be safe out there. Yeah, this said now, one interesting fact here is there's been a little bit discussion about this on social media. Also, PayPal stablecoin can be frozen. Yes. I mean, this stablecoin belongs to PayPal. They are backing it by cash US dollar, by short-term treasuries, and so on and so forth. So everything that Tifa US dollar has been saying they are doing, but I mean, they are not really transparent about it, right? And the thing is, of course, PayPal is also controlling this. This is not a decentralized cryptocurrency. So they can lock you out of your account, they can freeze your asset, they can basically do everything that we would be afraid if we have a central bank digital currency, like the central bank euro or central bank US dollar or yen or pound or whatever. Yeah, they can basically control your money. So this is not good. I would never keep all my cryptocurrency assets in PayPal US dollar for that reason, because I'm giving away control over it to a certain extent. Of course, if there's somebody with bad intentions, they can lock me out of my account. Nonetheless, of course, it's great. Imagine you can cash out your crypto. You can exchange it to this Pi US dollar, transfer to a friend, transfer to a new address, an exchange or so on. There changes back to Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you prefer. It's going to make the world, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, in my opinion, a better place if they do it correct. So we have to see how the rollout is going to be over the course of the next weeks and months. Probably, I assume they are going to roll out this worldwide. Very interesting. Good. Let me just quickly delete my crude drawings here on Bitcoin, and then let's talk a bit about charts and strategies. By the way, guys, I know it's called Bulls, Bears, and Breakfast. I'm having my coffee here as always in the morning. Actually, it's already my third coffee. I need my caffeine in the morning to stay awake. I'm skipping the breakfast part today because, as you can see maybe from my background here in the back, I'm not in my usual place in my office in Berlin because I'm traveling right now. I'm in a hotel. I'm going to meet some very interesting people from the cryptocurrency scene in the next 2 days, and maybe I'll be able to do an interview more on that upcoming. So I skipped the breakfast part for coffee because after this I'm going to meet somebody for lunch already. Good. That being said, nonetheless, please have your breakfast. So let's return to the charts here also. When it comes to Bitcoin, and I set this also on our Telegram channel, which you can find the link to in the description of this video or in the comment if you're watching a recording later of this. I said multiple times, this area here where you see the green line, 28,500 US dollars. And right now we have this yellow moving average, which is the 100 days moving average, also directly at 28,500. I think this is a good area for support, because what I can do here, I can enter a limit order here. Should I be executed, then there's the next layer of security still down here at around about 27,000 US dollars. So I need to risk, let's say, something like 1,500 US dollars. My upside potential at 31,000 US dollars. 31 minus 28,500 US dollars is 2,500 US dollars. So I have to risk 1,000, let's say 1,500 US dollars to earn 2,500 US dollars per Bitcoin. This is a pretty good risk-reward ratio. I can do this a number of times. I can do this with a win rate, success rate below 50% and still earn some money. So this is actually the first trade or the first limit order I want to enter again. By the way, if you haven't done so, you should definitely also activate our latest promo code called, where do I have it here? This one here, you see at the bottom of the screen now, Academy minus 50 for a 50% reduction of trading fees. You can see now here I entered it already. I have a fee discount. So you entered here at promo code, you click on activate, and then you have your discount. And what is happening now? My platform hanging a little bit. Okay, I'm going to restart this very quickly here. Bear with me. How is it with you guys? What do you think about this whole PayPal thing? Is it going to affect the cryptocurrency scene? Is it not going to affect cryptocurrencies? How are you treating this? Have you been waiting for this? You know, do you actually use where you are from PayPal? Just because, you know, it's used in Germany a lot, of course, doesn't mean it's used around the world a lot as well. All right, here we go. Where do we have? I'm switching here to crypto. And then I want to switch here to, where do we have Bitcoin? Bitcoin US dollar. Now I still have here one-click trading activated. I want to change this back to regular trading because I don't want to buy when I just click here on the buy or sell button. I want to actually enter a limit order now. So I'm going to order type limit. I want to buy 3 Bitcoin at 28,500 US dollars. I'm going to place a stop loss and take profit here immediately again. Now I don't want to do. I don't want to put my stop loss here directly at this 200 days moving average, with red moving average at around about 27,000 US dollars, because if we should break below 28,500, it might very well be that we touch this first until we go up again. So I want to be a little bit lower. That's why I'm going to put this, let's say, to 26,750. And I'm going to place my stop loss just shy of 31,000, 30,975. So you can see here also with my 3 Bitcoin, if my order gets executed, I sadly cannot make this window bigger for you. My projected loss, if I get stopped out, would be around 5,250 US dollars. My projected profit at around about 7,420 US dollars. Okay, I'm going to send this. So I can see now this is activated. So we have, or I have in this case, set up what I would like to do for Bitcoin. Now, of course, there are other interesting things going on. S&P 500. I just want to deactivate the Bollinger Bands here. We don't really need them there. It's a bit of a mixed bag, you know. It's for me a little bit in nowhere land. I've been saying here for a number of weeks now, I would consider a short here at 4,580. When we reached there, actually, I missed the short entry there. A bit of chicken feed. I didn't really see all the things aligning there. However, the initial analysis, of course, very good. For me now, what I would like to see actually before I consider making a move there again would be either that we go here to around 4,580 to 4,600 to the upside. Then I actually would consider a short entry again in the hopes that we come down to this yellow trend line. Or if it goes the other way around, I would really like to see maybe the price being here at around 4,320, 4,300, where we have this junction of this trend line from the very bottom that we established and the current support here at 4,316. So that would be a very good trade setup, in my opinion. If stars align there, of course, we would have to see like what's on the news and so on and so forth. Now, it's going to depend probably also on how inflation data is coming out on Thursday. By the way, we are going to cover that as well. And we're going to cover that as well on Thursday with a live stream. We're going to have community trading there again, where you guys can choose on Telegram which positions I should trade. Last time we made like, what was it, 190 US dollars in 1 minute. Last week after the release of the NFP. So this is going to go on again. Yeah, so should I see here really this week something between 4,580 to 4,600, I might consider a quick short again. As a matter of fact, we can actually enter this. As I said, I'm going to travel a little bit, and I won't be like 10 to 14 hours in front of my trading screens as I usually am. Here's the S&P 500. So just a small position here. Limit order, of course, again, I'm just going to do like 25 contracts. Let's set it to 4,590. Not going to place a stop loss for that. I'm going to analyze that. Should this get executed, because it's a really small position in this case. Now it's more of a gamble, to be honest. Where, yeah, should we maybe see the S&P coming down here? But I don't expect this happening this week already, to be honest with you. I mean, that would be quite a dramatic plunge of over 5% within just the 3 days we have left for trading this week. I don't think, maybe this is coming more in like 2 or 3 weeks into action if we don't break out to the north there. All right. Yeah, what else? Before we have a quick look at some currencies like euro dollar, what the US dollar is doing, I saw already quite a number of questions out there from you guys. So maybe let's look at those questions first. Some of you drinking coffee. Very good, guys. You know, there are studies that coffee is very good and actually very beneficial for the heart. I really bank on those being true. Yeah, we have here a comment about PayPal. Skrill next NetTeller will launch stablecoin. I mean, that would be exciting. For me, it's really, I want to see a little bit of competition for US dollar TIFA, because US dollar TIFA is so intransparent, right? They always say, oh yeah, we have everything backed, but they don't really show the truth. And since so much trading is over US dollar TIFA when it comes to cryptocurrencies, it's a angle that is really, really dangerous. Yeah, I mean, this is a good comment too here from Bernard. I can't imagine a company I trust less than PayPal. Hard pass for me. Of course, you know, this is like three-dimensional, what you are saying there. If you have backed experience with PayPal, you know, you're not going to trust them. Absolutely. But for me, you know, it's more the fact that they have like 460 million clients, that they are an integral part of the shopping experience in Germany, at least. So it will have an impact. Like I said, I never would trust them also with all of my money. My God. Same here. Comment from Lady Fox. PayPal sucks. High fees. But I have to use that. But there's great competition for it too. And if I can use something else. Yeah, this is the thing sometimes, no? Because they have such a dominant market share. That if you are an entrepreneur and you're running a business, that you have to, you know, offer PayPal as a payment solution. And yeah, I've heard bad stories about business owners that offered PayPal, where PayPal locked up the money from their sales for months and months and months and didn't reply to anything. That is really, of course, a shadow side. This is why it's, and this is a good example, what we just saw from Bernard and Lady Fox. This is a part of a due diligence process that you have to determine for yourself. No, I'm not going to trust, you know, some guy that says something here on a live stream on YouTube. I need to think myself also for it. So really, really to read something like this. Then we have another comment here, again from Lady Fox. I checked what fees they would have for their crypto transfers, and it's in percent. They don't have stable fee, 3 to 4% from the money you're sending. That is, of course, insane. Yeah, I haven't checked it fee-wise, to be honest, because I saw they are only offering it so far in the USA. Maybe you are coming from the USA. If it's 3 to 4%, it's of course insane. But as more people are using that, as hopefully also more competition like Skrill, NetTeller might enter the scene, maybe we are going to see fees coming down then. But I mean, as a matter of fact, for Ethereum, Bitcoin, it's the same, no? We also had like times when the networks were very congested, where we had, especially on Ethereum, very high fees, you know, where people were minting NFTs in the high time. and basically the money for minting the NFTs was higher than the price of the NFTs themselves. Yeah, question here again. Will you live stream again this week's CPI? I will. As I said before, Thursday at 2 p.m. Let me quickly check here. I don't want to tell you wrong things here, but I think it's going to be 2:30 CET, so 12:30 CET is going to be the release of the data. So we're going to start streaming at 12 p.m. UTC, 2 p.m. CET on August 10th, so this Thursday. But don't worry, there's of course also going to be an announcement on social media and on the Academy channel for sure, and on Discord as well. Good here. Last question, and then I quickly want to touch base on the US dollar still. We want to keep this at around a half hour of streaming here. Don't want to eat up too much of your time. Hi, Dirk. Will you wait for a confirmation in the low time frame before taking the trade? In this case, when I look like at this daily areas, I don't wait for the confirmation of a low time frame because of two reasons. One reason is that I'm not so much in front as I usually am this week. So I don't have really time, when I'm in a meeting or interviewing people to look at the half hour or maybe even the 5 minutes or 50-minute charts. That's why I said here earlier, for example, here in the S&P 500, the area between 4,580 and 4,600, I kind of picked for my limit sell order here, the middle, 4,590. In general, if you have an idea like this, where you say, okay, this looks like a good zone for a short, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to hit the highest sell price there. If you catch it and then drive with a trend, which in this case would be down, then of course, then you've already made a very wonderful trading decision. So try not to be too picky. If you're not going to catch the top, you're not going to catch the bottom, very likely. Sometimes it happens, but it's very rare. So as long as you are in the trade, then this, in my opinion, is all that matters. If I enter it like 0.1% better or worse, well, that's life. If I win like 1, 2, or 3% with it, then I'm very happy if I caught a price that is like slightly off the top for a short trade, for example. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm using only one monitor today. That's why it's a bit cramped on my desktop here. Good, let's have a quick look here at the US dollar. And yeah, normally if you want to analyze the US dollar, you have to use something like the DXY, of course. The DXY being the so-called US dollar index. So it's a basket of other currencies in comparison to the US dollar. It gives you kind of like a general overview how the US dollar is trading. Now, since the euro makes up, I think, 54% of that basket already, you might as well analyze euro dollar, because you can see, if you look at the chart here and the chart here, it's not that different. It's the other way around, of course, because a higher euro dollar means a weaker US dollar, whereas a lower DXY means a weaker US dollar. So I always use euro dollar, but it's a taste. I said earlier, you can see my drawing here still, which was from March for the general kind of direction I was expecting for euro dollar. Didn't quite make it. I didn't anticipate that we really would go that fast that week again. However, we can see here, so this area here, first of all, we have this thin green line here, which is the 50% retracement of this whole down move here from all the way up where the dollar was the weakest in the last 2.5 years, January 2021, and then it went super strong all of last year, when people switched into long-term US dollar treasuries. because they offered like 4 or 5% in yield again until we hit this low at around about 95 US dollar. Since then, we have bounced back, and now this area, which is exactly this 50% retracement. So I applied here Fibonacci tools to it, and it went up to the 50 retracement, went down again, then kind of lingered here again, was deflected again, lingered again, then went up, interestingly enough, here to this 61.8 retracement and was reflected there again. So it looks to me a little bit at the moment like we're going to deflect here again to attack here this level of maybe 112.5, 113 again. So under normal circumstances, and I'm going to explain in a minute what I mean by this, I probably would place a limit order somewhere here in this area between because we have a confluence here of not only the 50% retracement, but also of the 50 days moving average and the yellow line here, the 100 days moving average. And these are always areas I like to trade, because very often you will see that prices are not going to break through that on their first try. And we just saw that not so long ago, a couple of days ago, just, where we touched here, were bounced off. Now, I say under normal circumstances, I actually might enter an order for this at, let's say, around about here 109.25, which I'm going to do now, but also just a small one. So here, euro US dollar. I'm just going here also with 50,000 limit order at 109.25, I think I said. Let me just double check again. Yeah, so this is where we have a 100 days moving average, 109.25 at the moment. I'm going to send this order now. My limit there. But as we are, should this not be executed today or tomorrow, which is Wednesday, I'm going to probably cancel this order, because we have these inflation data coming up on Thursday. And this for sure, especially since we have a little bit higher expectation in inflation, 3.3%, after the previous 3% we saw, this is going to, for sure, especially if the number is either higher or lower than this, going to cause a lot of volatility. It did the last times we saw the inflation release. We had a lot of volatility shortly after this, and I don't want to be caught in the wrong direction there. So this order is just going to be valid for today, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to decide that probably tonight, and then I'm going to take it off the market. I might actually do the same also here with the S&P 500 order and the Bitcoin US dollar order as well, because it might always be, if like this reading for inflation data comes in very different from what is expected, that it's going to be this catalyst I was talking about earlier today, which is going to help us to resolve this Bollinger Band pattern. Hold on a second. So it's going to help us to resolve this here, this low volatility, either to the upside or downside. And you don't want to be, caught there with a rather large position on the wrong side of the market. Yeah, I see already getting quite late. And guys, thank you for being here with me. This format is going to be there now for you every Tuesday. I think it makes quite a lot of sense, to kind of prepare for the week ahead, in my opinion. Of course, we're going to, if some of those trades are executed, we're going to revisit them on the Telegram Academy channel, and also, of course, here on YouTube next Tuesday again. Yeah, thank you for this. You are taking the words from my mouth, so to say. Thanks. Nice. Thank you for your subscription. If you haven't done so, and please subscribe to, leave a like. This is kind of my payment for everything we are doing here. And until then, always remember to use a stop loss, and happy trading and investment. Take care, everyone.